Hello, my name is Chris, and today I'd like to talk to you about the stories that we tell ourselves about why we can't quit smoking. The stories that we tell ourselves about why quitting smoking is so hard and therefore we just shouldn't bother even trying. As much as I'm able to do today, I would like to try and reassure you that whatever fears and anxieties you may have about quitting smoking, it is possible to overcome them and to go on to be a non-smoker and enjoy all the health and happiness that you truly deserve. The thing about those fears and anxieties is that they are just stories that we tell ourselves. Sometimes we tell ourselves, I'm not going to be able to quit because it's going to be too hard and I am too weak, or because I'm going to gain weight and I can't, or because I'm going to lash out at people, or whatever it may be. But the thing about the stories that we tell ourselves is that we are also the authors of those stories, and we're also the editors and the publishers of those stories, which gives us the complete power and control to change those stories as we see fit. So whatever we've told ourselves about, okay, I'm anxious about quitting smoking because of this, if we choose to, we can then say to ourselves, well, actually, okay, I acknowledge that this is something that might be an obstacle for me, but I'm going to rewrite the story to where I am the amazing hero who overcomes that obstacle. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to do that later. Kind of. For so many of us, when we decide to take quitting smoking seriously, we don't do so because we're bored and we just want something to do for a laugh. I don't know anybody who said, you know what, I'm tired of rewatching The Office for like 1,000 times, so I'm going to quit smoking. I'm tired of watching Game of Thrones, I'm tired of playing Fortnite, I'm tired of listening to Chris list off as many pop culture references as he knows, which by the way is just those. I'm tired of all this, I might as well try and quit smoking. No. Most of the time when we decide to take quitting smoking seriously, we do so because at some level it is making us miserable. We feel absolutely miserable, and we see other people who don't smoke and they are healthy and they are happy and they have money in their pockets, and we decide, you know what, I want a bit of that. But then we start to envision what this process is going to be like, and we start to tell ourselves this story, and we tell ourselves, oh my goodness, it is going to be way too hard and I'm not going to be able to do it, therefore I shouldn't try. We end up talking ourselves out of our future happiness. We end up talking ourselves into staying miserable for basically the rest of time. It doesn't have to be that way. You and me, we deserve to be healthy, we deserve to be happy, we deserve to have money in our pockets and happiness in our hearts and all the good stuff that comes from being a non-smoker. So whatever stories you have told yourself why you can't quit smoking, today I'm going to offer you a counter argument to those stories, and we're going to change some of the most popular, the most common stories about why we quit smoking. We're going to change them together. By far the most popular story that we tell ourselves, by far the most common reason that we give ourselves as to why we can't quit, is that quitting is going to be too hard. We tell ourselves that for whatever reason we are not strong enough or we are not capable of going through the process of quitting smoking. convinced that it's going to be an epic nightmare that we are just not able to deal with. That isn't true at all. Yes, some people find quitting smoking difficult, they find it really challenging, they find it really tough. But not so tough that they can't do it. Quitting smoking is not so tough that you can't do it, no matter how you feel about yourself. I've had so many issues with addiction and low self-esteem and depression and all that stuff, and yet despite that I've somehow managed to quit smoking, and I am nothing special. If quitting smoking does prove to be difficult for you, there is so much love and support out there to help you get through it. Of course, I would love for you to come and join us in the Finding Freedom Facebook group, where there's this wonderful community of people who are proving every single day that no matter how tough it gets, it is possible to quit. There are people celebrating, I've just passed 1 month smoke free, 85 days, 6 months, 1 week. People proving that it can be done, and not only proving that it can be done, but reaching out, holding one another's hands and saying, okay, we're all in this together and we are going to do it. I will put the link to that group down in the description below if you'd like to come and join us. Outside of the group, there is smoking cessation. I have dissected the quit smoking thing from every angle I can think of, everything that I know or that I believe about the mental, physical and emotional aspects of quitting smoking. I have shared with you in past videos, or I will share with you in future videos. So there is so much support to help you get through this. That's if you even need it. You might be one of those amazing people who doesn't struggle to quit smoking. There are people out there. Like I said, I've covered this smoking thing from every angle I can think of, and yet there are people who don't need any of my videos or any support or any advice at all. There are people who just, they might find it a bit of a challenge, but it doesn't seem to affect them the way it affects other people, and they kind of breeze through it. Or they have some of the symptoms but not all of them. This weird thing called quitting smoking affects us all differently, and you might be one of the lucky people who can just saunter through it. And even if you're not, we are all here, and there is so much support to help you get through it, no matter how tough it may seem. Of course, the most important thing to remember, if it does get tough, is that it is only tough for a very, very small amount of time. You had this period of smoking, you will have this period of quitting and it being difficult, and then you will have this period of being a happy, healthy non-smoker. The tough time, the bit where it is difficult, is tiny compared to the lifetime of health, happiness, wealth and joy that awaits you on the other side. One other popular story that some people tell themselves about why they can't quit smoking is because they convince themselves that they need to keep smoking in order to protect their loved ones. They say, Chris, I can't possibly quit smoking because when I don't smoke I am irritable and angsty and annoyed, and I take all that out on my loved ones, on my children. So for their sake I have to quit smoking because I can't do that to them. So I have to stay smoking forever, right? No, you don't. Lashing out at your loved ones is not a prerequisite for a successful quit. You don't have to do it at all. I know there are people who will say, okay, this person loves me, so I can get away with lashing out at them. I can get away with basically being an arsehole to them because they'll love me and forgive me. That person loves you. Do you really want to abuse their love in that way? To think about, there are millions and billions of people on this planet, and out of all those billions of people, they've chosen to be with you. And you repay that by yelling at them and shouting at them and going, ah, you know, and treating them badly. That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, but Chris, I can't help it. I just lash out and I don't know why. I want you to go and check out the video that I made about this very subject. About how to stop lashing out at loved ones when we quit smoking, because we don't have to do it. It is entirely possible for us to take a step back and go, okay, I'm a bit anxious and tense and irritable right now, but I'm not anxious and tense and irritable about this, like about my child or about this person who, you know, out of all the billions of people they could have chosen to love, decided to love me. So I don't have to take it out on them. I can take myself out of this situation, take a deep breath, and tackle the root cause of my anger, of my stress, of my irritability, even if that only means taking a walk to calm down. On a related note, we quite often tell ourselves that smoking, we can't possibly quit smoking because smoking relaxes us and is the only thing that keeps us calm. I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you, but no, it isn't. Here's the true story about what is going on. Nicotine is a stimulant. When we smoke, the stimulant goes into our bodies, hits the receptors in the brains and gives us that quick jolt. Goes all through our bodies. But just as quickly as it gives us the hit, the nicotine dissolves and fades away. And our bodies decide very quickly, we want more of that, we want another hit. So we start getting tense and angsty and irritable until we get it. In other words, the only stress that a cigarette alleviates is the stress caused by the last cigarette. So smoking doesn't relax us, it just helps us keep away the cravings for another cigarette. It's why you see people in high pressure, in highly stressful or traumatic situations, chain smoking. Because they're really, really super stressed and they're trying to relax themselves by smoking and it just isn't working. I'm really stressed. And then no matter how much they smoke, they simply can't relax. There are a million things that you can do if you are worried about stress, if you are worried about being able to relax and stay calm. But smoking is not one of them. You need to take a walk outside. I find journaling and playing my guitar and going on my bike quite relaxing. Just, you know, puts me in a different state of mind. And I feel far more naturally relaxed and far more naturally calm than I ever did when I smoked. Because all that smoking ever did was alleviate the craving and alleviate the stress caused by the last cigarette. And finally, Chris, I can't quit smoking because if I do, I will gain so much weight and none of my clothes will fit me and I'll look awful and I'll dive into the swimming pool and all the water will go and I'll clear the swimming pool, and that image makes me laugh and I'm sorry, that's terrible. But we tell ourselves all these things about, okay, well, I can't quit smoking because I'll gain too much weight. We don't have to. I made the video a while ago about why I personally gained weight when I quit smoking. Although I know now that I didn't have to. What I was doing was I was using food just as a substitute for cigarettes. I was thinking, I feel bad, I need to change the way I feel, how can I do this? Quick external substitute, let's eat. And I put on so much weight. But now that I've recognised this, I don't have to use food to change the way that I feel anymore. And now that you know that that's all you're doing, that's the real reason why most people gain weight, you don't have to do it either. You can stop and tell yourself a different story. The story that goes, okay, I might feel bad when I'm quitting smoking, but there are so many other things I can do besides raiding the fridge and besides, just binge eating. There is, of course, the thing that, even without, emotional overeating or binge eating or whatever you want to call it, there is the thing that, we might naturally gain a little bit of weight when we quit smoking. But we can correct course and we can lose that weight very easily with just a little bit of exercise. If you go watch some of my early videos and then come and watch some of my recent videos, you'll be able to tell that I lost all the weight that I gained. I lost. I've actually put on a little bit of weight recently because I've messed up my whole marathon training thing and I've eaten too many carbs and not done enough training these last couple of weeks. So right now, this last week or two, I feel really, really fat. But you know what? I've got to run this marathon on Sunday, and then after that I can correct course and I can lose weight just as easily as I did before. All it takes is one good decision at a time. Make one good decision about what I'm going to put into my body, about the level of exercise that I'm going to do. So you don't have to gain so much weight. You can dive into the swimming pool and all the water won't fall out and splash out everywhere like a tidal bomb. I don't know quite what a tidal bomb is. I'm rambling. Let's be sensible. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to get fat after quitting smoking. And if you do gain a little bit of weight, you can just correct course and you can lose it because you've already proven now that you can do difficult things. Quitting smoking was hard, but you got through it. So you can now get through something else, like losing weight, like starting exercise, like doing anything you desire. Hope this video has been helpful for you in some way. I hope you can go away now and start changing those stories that you've told yourself. You were telling yourself, okay, quitting smoking is going to be too hard for me. Now you can change the story into quitting smoking might be hard, but I have all these resources at my disposal to help me get through it. In fact, it's a very good idea to just do that as an exercise. I've done this just this morning with something completely different. I'm trying to, transition my career away from what I used to do, which was freelance work, into counselling and mentoring and doing something genuinely helpful. But I was telling myself all these stories about why it was going to be too hard and why I couldn't do it. So I wrote these down as a list, and then I wrote the list out again, except this time I offered myself a counter argument. So I would write, okay, I can't do this because I don't know enough. And then counter argument, I know enough of my own experiences and the rest I can learn. You can do it with quitting smoking. I can't quit smoking because I'll lash out at my loved ones. Counter argument, I can quit smoking because I know techniques that I saw in Chris's other video about how to not lash out at people. And I recognise that I don't have to abuse somebody's love and trust in me just to quit smoking. Give it a try. Thank you so much for watching today. I do genuinely appreciate all your support, all your love, all your kindness and all your kind words down in the comments below, and those emails that you've been sending me recently. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go and sit at my laptop, reply to comments, reply to emails, check in with Finding Freedom. Again, you can join us there, facebook.com/group/findingfreedom1. For more weekly videos like this one, please do consider subscribing. Let me know down in the comments below how you are getting on with your journey. What is the story that you've told yourself about why you can't quit? And how are you going to change that story? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.